What's going on, folks? It's your main man, Rick the Dawn. We're here to talk some Big Brother. We're going to look ahead. We're not going to look in the past. Yes, Nicole is evil. Yes, Daniel is evil. But let's move on because this game doesn't stop for anybody. This game is a 24-hour game, and the longer you're looking at the past, the more you're missing moving forward. First off, I want to go ahead and quickly talk about the Leftovers Alliance. Whoa! I mean, that was a huge reveal. I'm really happy this happened. So it appears that Monty is starting to redeem himself. You know who my favorite player is right now? I have to just give major props to Kyle. I am such a big fan of Kyle. I cannot express. He's a genuine person. You know, when you watch Big Brother, you have everyone putting on their best face. But then again, you always see who they really are. And I'm going to tell you right now, Kyle from day one to day right now, he's been a genuine person. He's been somebody who I would just say in my mind, I like this person. I like the way that they are as an individual. And Kyle, you can tell that he was very stern when he said in the last episode, you've been bullied. He's talking to Taylor. He's telling her, you've been bullied. You've been disrespected. And I don't like it. Now, Joseph seemed to piggyback off of that particular sentiment. But in my opinion, it came too late. In fact, Joseph was in the same room when Daniel went off on Taylor. So in my opinion, it was too little too late. And I felt like Joseph saw a little sliver of a chance to, ride this wave of we got Taylor's back when Joseph had a great opportunity to step in and be the leader of it. And I feel the same about Monty. Monty is also speaking those particular sentiments. But in my opinion, it's too little too late. He should have jumped in. He had plenty of opportunities to stand up for Taylor. In fact, he's part of the reason that Taylor is being bullied. So in my opinion, Monty's, genuine, he tries to come through and he's trying to take up for Taylor. I think he even says in the last episode that, she's starting to warm up to me. I just thought that was like a half-ended compliment. Like, hey, she's doing better. She's a nicer person. She was evil before. And what Monty doesn't seem to realize is Taylor has never really been evil, according to the edits and the things I've seen on edited Big Brother. I don't watch the live feeds. So in my opinion, I just think that Monty's a little just delusional, if I can use that word, okay? So I am extremely happy that Turner, it's actually seven people. And I can't tell you exactly because there's so many people in this alliance. It's like crazy. But I'm going to try my best. It's Brittany, it's Michael, Monty, Turner, Taylor, Joseph, Kyle. Wow, I'm really good at this game. I'm telling you, I'm really good at this game. So yes, I'm very happy that these 7 have come together. And I just laugh every time I see Brittany, man. It's like, I have to stop doing this. For me, Brittany is like the quintessential sweetheart. And she's somebody who I just love to watch play because she reminds me of my wife playing the game, like has no idea what's going on, but kind of does. You know what I mean? Like she's always like, I heard her even say something, about joining together. Like, hey, we have to work now. I'm like, Brittany, you should probably be trying to join a different alliance because, and first off, how many alliances has Brittany been in by this point? I'm like, Brittany, you should join a different alliance because let me tell you something. You're in an alliance with some heavyweights. You're in an alliance with Kyle, who hasn't turned on yet. But I tell you right now, I'll be the first one to say it. Eventually, Kyle's going to become a competition threat. You're in an alliance, Brittany, with Michael. Michael is a giant in this game. He's won the last 3 or 4, if not the last 4. I don't know. This guy's winning everything. You're in a alliance with Joseph. I mean, these guys are huge. Monty hasn't turned on yet. I think Monty has a couple bursts in him. I don't think he's going to win the game, but I think he has a couple bursts in him. And dare I say, as far as the female side, Taylor is a problem, okay? And so with that being said, I don't know. I always laugh when I see Brittany play because she's just like, but 2 people that I did not see in the last episode. That was Alyssa and Indy. It's like, what's going on with those 2 young ladies? They sleeping or something? What's going on with them? But looking forward, I didn't see this. And please let me know in the comment section if I missed it. I didn't see the veto nominations where people were taken off or put on. I didn't see that. And then I hope I didn't miss it. Maybe I turned the TV up too soon, but I didn't see it. And I don't think I have to see it. I think I know exactly where we're going. Tomorrow, before I even talk about that, my next question is, do we have an eviction tomorrow? I mean, last week we had a really crazy schedule where they didn't even come on TV on Thursday. And then, and then Sunday they had a 2-hour episode. Is that like the new norm? I mean, Big Brother this year or this season has just been insane. There's just so many irregularities that I've just never seen before in the game. But if we're going to stick with the exact same standard format, that means tomorrow, Thursday, someone's going home. And if not, hey, It's different this year. Who knew? So if that is the case, I believe they're gonna. I think they did a good job with the editing. I think what they did was they said, look, everybody is anticipating this move. Everybody's anticipating this huge blow up. This is like one of the biggest blindsides of the game thus far. Everybody's waiting for this. Let's not give it to them on Wednesday. Let's start the episode next. Let's start the Thursday's eviction episode with this material, which is ingenious in terms of editing. It's building so much suspense. So let me just go ahead and do what I always do, which is correctly predict everything. So I believe tomorrow's episode, should it air, is going to start off with this huge reveal in terms, well, not reveal, I should say this huge pact, the Leftovers Alliance. And then from that particular point, you'll probably see them jump to the veto nominations, right? And you're going to see that Michael, the challenge killer, and Brittany, they're going to use the veto to take take themselves off the block, right? And then you're going to see Turner. He's going to look very shocked. He's going to probably give you a nice little speech about, every time someone comes down, I got to put someone up. You know how they do it. And he's going to do it in front of everybody. He's going to put up Ameerah and Terrence. And the room is going to be completely shocked. And then that's about when they flash back to Julie, and Julie hits you with that nice little smooth thing that she hits you with. She's going to probably say, we'll be right back. You know how Julie do it. And then they're going to come back, and it's just going to be scattering. And they'll most likely go to a flashback that should have been shown tonight where everybody's pretty much just confused. Nicole's going to probably go off. She's going to be insanely upset because she's like, everybody can pretty much, I think everybody is seeing a new side of Nicole that we did not think or expect to see. And I think that's what's going to happen. Nicole's going to be just livid. This could be more Taylor hate, first off, because now they're going to be confused. And for some reason, everything that goes wrong or, adverse to whatever the plan is, it seems to be Taylor's fault, right? So I believe that that's going to happen. It's going to be more Taylor blame, more Taylor hate, but there's a but. There's a but. That but is Taylor has an alliance now. And I did not pick Taylor to win. I didn't pick her as one of my top 3. But man, when somebody's getting bullied, that's when my inner, I activate. I activate when somebody's getting bullied because I just feel like it's not necessary. I feel like gang mentality, ganging up on someone who's the perceived weakness within the house. I just hate that particular gameplay. It doesn't matter what color the person is. And I really feel for Taylor in this game. She even broke down crying last game. And that really upset me. I didn't cry or anything like that. I'm not that invested in this show. But I will say that it did upset me, genuinely upset me. And so I believe there's going to be more Taylor hate because now Taylor must have did something. I mean, who else could explain this craziness, this change of, you know what I mean? Turner is the one who's going to do it. He'll get probably no blame, no look at, nothing. So he's going to put up Ameerah and Terrence. I imagine that Daniel, Nicole are going to be flustered and looking for things that's going on, blaming Taylor, but Taylor has an alliance now. Now, this is the thing. That alliance is built with some really sketchy people. Okay, Brittany, she's been in multiple alliances. Let's just get that out the way. Brittany has been in a Girls Alliance. She's, what else has she been in? I don't know what she's been in. She's just been everywhere. I feel like now she's in this alliance. And in my opinion, when you've already been in, 2 alliances this early, which is basically half of the house. But when you've been in alliances this many times, this fast, I'm not trusting your alliance at this point. I feel like I feel like this is the season that temporary alliances is thriving. Like, it's like, hey, we're going to be in alliance for a week. And after that, we'll see what happens. That's what this whole season has been cataloged as for me. You're going to, in this alliance is also made up of Kyle. Kyle has a budding romance with Alyssa, who's in a whole different alliance. So at any point, Alyssa can work her charm and pull Kyle out. You got Monty. Monty is the most weirdest player. I mean, how do you go in a house and not at least try to attempt a cookout 2 after seeing such masterful gameplay? How do you not understand the responsibility you have? And not only do you not try to do something similar or even comparable, but you target the black player. That is insane to me. And for that tells me that his psychology and the way he plays the game, I just can't trust it. Taylor also is a little wonky. I mean, she got information from Paloma and went and directly told it to Monty. And speaking of Monty, he went and told it back to Paloma. So that tells me that they don't hold secrets well. Who else? Michael doesn't need anybody. Come on. Michael doesn't need anybody. Michael is in this alliance because he never says no to an alliance. He doesn't need a soul. They need him, if nothing else. And in fact, I would say Michael needs to be careful because this little, this alliance that's made up of all these very fluctuating and weak players, they could actually get to a point where they use Michael as a shield because Michael is he's incredible. He's like, if you got a chance to play a BB, a Big Brother video game, and you can create your own player, you would probably create Michael. You're going to create a muscular, strong, like genius, right? He's a challenge threat. He's a social threat. This guy's insane. Like, he's like a creative player, in my opinion. So, and then with Turner's like a mouse. Like, if I could compare everybody in the game to an animal, he's like a mouse to me. And he's so quiet. He's kind of small in stature. He doesn't talk a lot. I mean, he's a smart player. I think Turner may be the glue that holds this very fragile alliance together. But as you can just see, I named all the reasons why this alliance is like really, really shaky for me. But I'm just happy it exists because, in my opinion, Big Brother thrives best when it's good versus evil. We know who evil is in this house. It's the two people with the white Cruella DeVille streaks in their hair. Okay, it's Daniel and Nicole. And I did not peg Nicole to be the villain, but hey, she's done it to herself at this particular point. Daniel, I had such high hopes for Daniel. I liked Daniel when I first saw him. I thought he was great. The fact that he was the first HOH, I really felt really highly about that. But he's definitely proven to be the stereotypical, it's like, oh, here we go, next. So so here's what it is. This is what I think. They're gonna do the veto competition. They're going to be surprised when they see Ameerah and Terrence go up. And if everything goes according to plan, which is in terms of the schedule, then Ameerah will be going home. And then you'll have the next HOH. And because Michael didn't win the last one, come on now, come on. But I have to say this, it's no way that Michael's going to win this next HOH. And at this point, the Big Brother course, or I should say, game operators should be looking at their list and their board of games and saying, hey, Michael is winning too much. Let's fix these games a little bit. Let's try to alter these games so that other players can actually have a chance. I think they do that. I think they come up with these games and they pick games based on who they want to win. I believe that there's a little of that going on in the house. And you could also make the argument that Taylor might be being protected by the game itself, just to keep viewers from like ranting and outcrying. Some of the stuff that's happening is just insane. I'm going to talk about that in my next video. I'm not going to spoil it here, but we're going to talk about Taylor when I get done with this episode. I'm going to go live with it. But this is the thing. Michael cannot win another HOH. It's no way that he's going to win. I'll say this, though. If Michael does win, just stop. And he's not targeted. Like, what would that be? That would be insane. So I'm going to go with a more logical pick. I mean, I think Kyle is due for one. I think Kyle could be the next HOH. I think Terrence could be the next HOH. Taylor could be the next HOH. So let me go on record. I'm going to pick the 5 players who I think have a great shot of winning HOH in the next competition, barring it takes place tomorrow. I'm going to say Terrence because, again, Big Brother, the creators of the show, the editors of the show, have to be looking at their wall of games and saying, we got to shake this game up. Michael he's insane. So they might pick something that DJ Chicago could actually win. All right, Terrence, I think Taylor has a good shot. I think Kyle has a good shot. I'm going to pick someone other than Michael. I think Michael was obvious. I'm going to say Nicole has a good shot. Sometimes, and I've been watching Big Brother for a long time, sometimes the villains win. Sometimes they pull one out of the hat. I think Daniel has another chance of winning. So those are my 5 picks to win the next HOH. And obviously, with each of these players, each individual player has a course that would absolutely alter the game. Who I would like to see win, I know I would like to see Taylor win, but I just think that I'm not sure I'm ready for that just yet. I feel like, she's too integrated into this new alliance. She's going to do what they tell her to do. She doesn't seem like someone who is mentally strong. Otherwise, all this bullying wouldn't even be taking place. And I don't mean that to be insensitive, but, you got to stand up for yourself anytime someone's bullying you. I just don't like the fact that she's standing there and being berated. Now, granted, she doesn't understand the meta gameplay that's taking place. There's a meta cognitive type of gameplay taking place where people are talking about talking. So she might think she's actually, in the loop, but she doesn't understand. There's like 4 other layers of conversation taking place on each side of her. And perhaps that would explain some of the confusion that I always see on her face when she's getting confronted. But again, I don't necessarily want to see her win. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. Maybe I'll remove Daniel and put Monty in. Monty has a good shot of winning as well. So it's going to be very interesting. I would say who I would like to win is who I would like to win. You know, outside of Taylor, obviously, I'm going to go with. I like to see Terrence just so we can have a break from the Taylor hate. I don't perceive him to. He seems to be a player that floats a little bit. And matter of fact, I'm going to say a lot of it, but I don't think he floats to the extent of putting Taylor up. I just think that he's been seeing some of the torment that she's going through, and I don't know if he's going to jump on board with that. And I also have to say I would love to see Kyle win. I am a huge fan of Kyle, and I'll say this: if Kyle wins, it's going to be a problem because Kyle and Alyssa will become the king of the queens, a king and the queen of the house. It always happens where someone who's in a showman's gets the HOH, and then the other player within that showman's jumps in and starts running the HOH with the actual HOH. It happens every year, and I believe Kyle could be the first one to do it and pull it off this year. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Please like and subscribe. You know, we're going to have these conversations every single time an episode goes off, unless, I'm sleeping or something like that. But otherwise, if I'm up and I'm watching, I'm jump right on and kick it with you. And we're just going to talk some BBB, Business Better Bureau. We're going to talk some BB24, and stay tuned.